This is 202. That's Parkside offices. Parkside office here in 5th, of course. And that's the 202 5th Street. Here, right across from the street from GTA. Can't miss it. It's a loft, actually. Loft has the discrepancies on the updated new loft. The numerals, numbers are gone, and there's paint covered entirely over the numbers, which is privacy for the loft, of course. Loft has laundromat inspection, and the laundromat inspection now has brand new paint and also outlook on remodeled and redone fence line, window sills, siding of the windows, the siding of the windows, inside and outside of the, there's water lines, exposing water lines, and also coexisting for electrical units. They're covered in brand new paint. The paint is covered with fresh paint and also covered with brand new nails. So basically all the fencing was pulled off the beams, off the main straight plumb line mount into the ground, concrete in the ground. Also the ones that weren't concrete ground were reinstalled, scraped, positioned, level was put on there, straight, individual, same base, if replaced, if broke. Each fence was painted, scraped, and painted, and then dried in the sun. There was sometimes it was raining, pouring for long periods of time, and there's nothing you do about the rain. So the rain has access of was only downfall. When it rained, it was still torn down. But anything in the rain or paint, you had to stop painting. So you want the paint to run the paint and have run down the paint, and basically you have to do it all over and scrape it again. Scrape the paint because of the rain. And there's beads of paint dripping off the building. So we gotta wait for all that to dry. But you could use a brush on and the best using instead of spray painting, it had to be brushed on there. Some parts, other parts could be sprayed. And that had to be done on a clear, hot day with no wind and a hot day, so it sticks better. Just like when you do the asphalt and the paving asphalt and the cracks and fills, you got to do it at the good temperature where it sits and stays, and it permanently dries. Now when it's raining, or that's when it's hot and cold, you got to do it right when it's in between those temperatures, when it stays in between, and when it's too hot or too cold. When it's hot, the ground expands, or actually contracts and contracts and contracts. So when it's cold, it expands. When it's hot, it shrinks up. But the thing is, if you do it in between the months of fall and spring and fall, and then you do it in spring and summer, where the expansion and contraction, you got to catch it between the extraction and the contraction. When you have the beams and the water lines, when it's cold, and the pipes will crack because of the cold temperatures, and the backfills of the drains is full of water, and the water is so cold it freezes. That's what I mean, extraction, contraction. Anything in asphalt, you got expansion, contraction. You got expansion, contraction winter, you got expansion, contraction in summer. And also you got the paint, which runs in the rain. You can't do it, can't spray. There's no wind. You gotta do it when it's hot. So you know when that first layer sticks, you got a second layer, and you got a third layer, you got a fourth layer, you got a fifth layer. When you got 5 coats, you can do it with the brush. You got 5 coats, you can do it with the spray, or you can do the 5 coats, you can do it with both, which would be spackling and also putting in all the installments you need for scraping. And make sure when you take a sander is probably the most convenient you have available, a hand sander. And even helpful is the sander, electric sander. Electric sander is probably the best grade you got. It's a thicker grade or higher grade, thinner grade, whatnot. If you do it by hand, I can see you do it for hand furniture or cherry wood or maple or oak or mahogany or birch. And they have a process. They got the Wireless Telephone Protection Act. It's a wireless telephone cloning, published L-105-172, April 24th, 1988, 112 Stat 55 provided. This is amended of federal sentence guidelines for wireless telephone cloning. In general pursuit of authority under Section 994 of the Title 20 United States Code, the United States Sentencing Commission to review and amended the federal sentence guidelines and the policy statements of commissions and provide appropriate penalties for the offenses involving cloning the wireless telephones, including offenses giving an attempt of conspiracy to clone a wireless telephone. Factors of consideration carrying out subsections commission shall consider with respect to offenses described in a paragraph. Number A, a range of conduct covered by the offense, the existing sentences for offenses, the extent of which value of the loss of cause offenses are defined in federal sentence guidelines, adequate measure for established penalties in federal sentence guidelines. That'd be the federal and Washington court rules, and also the federal guidelines, and also the categories, sentence table guidelines, and months. Offense levels, all the way 1 through 43. And also the categories from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, or 13 or more. Any 13 or more, you're number 6. Any 10, 11, 12, you're number 5. 7, 8, 9, you're 4. If you got 4, 5, 6, you're 3. If you got 2 or 3, you get 2. You got 0 to 1, it's 1. So this is the Zone A would be 0 to 1, 2 to 3, 4. You'd be a number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. The level of offense would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Or you'd be a number B, 9, 10, 11. Offense level would be 9, 10, 11, and categories would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Zones C would be 12 and 13 would be level 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. The maximum offenses on number 6 would be 12 to 18. Now, if you have offense level at size 14 to 43, you're through with. You get a 14, you get offense level, 14 points. You get, just matters what category is going to fall in. If it's going to be number 1 or number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. And if it's number 6, it's going to be 33 to 41. These range of motions from 14 to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all the way to 43 is 30 for life. Number 43, it's life. Number 42 is 360 to life. You have 360 to life from number 40, 41, 42, 43, you're through. You're pretty much through. Number 40, 41, 42, and 43. See, if you're 34 and 35, 36, you're still through. If you're 31, 32, and 33, you're still through. You're 28, 29, and 30, you're still through. 25, 26, still through. These categories on the publicist series are probably Drug-Induced Rape Prevention Punishment Act is 1996. This is a florpesium offenses. Published 103 through 05, 2B3, October 13, 1996. That would be Libra. Not a scorpion, so this would be October. See, on October 13, 1996, yeah. Anything after 21st, anything after 21st is a Libra. This one's October 13, 1996, 1110 Stat 3803, the Drug-Induced Rape Prevention and Punishment Act of 1996. These are making punishable for people, especially rapists, child molesters, and also habitual intimidation acts, which hits on the horoscopes and also the reader boards for scorpions, pretty much. These scorpions are offenses. It's on a pretty chart. October 13, scorpions. 1996, stat is 1110, 3808 provided. Drug-Induced Rape Prevention and Punishment Act of 1996, published L104 through 05. The amendments of sentencing guidelines pursuant to the authority under Section 994 of Title 20 United States Code. United States Sentence Commission shall review and amend as appropriate sentence guidelines for offenses involving flirtapasm. Summary. The United States Sentence Commission submit to Congress the summary review under paragraph I and II, explanation II, amendments to the sentence guidelines made under subparagraph. Number C, serious nature of offense carrying out the paragraph United States Commission shall ensure sentence guidelines offense involving flirtatism reflect the serious nature of such offenses. Now, the sentence offense against property and national cemeteries. In general, pursuit under Section 994, Title 20 United States Code, United States Sentence Commission shall review amend federal sentence guidelines to provide sentence enhancements to Level 2 of any offenses against property and national cemeteries. Subcommission duties and carrying subsections and Sentence Commission shall that the sentence guidelines policies statements, offenses, convicted offenses, described substance, appropriate serve a reasonable consent of relevant directors and federal sentence guidelines. No Electric Theft Act, NET Act, published 105, 140, is electrical property offenses. Directive to Sentence Commission under the authority of sentencing form of 1984. Published law 98, 473, 98 and 473. 98 Stat 1987, Section 21 to the Sentence Act of 1987. Published Law 100 and 182 and 101, Stat 1271. 18 U.S.C. 994 note, including the authority to amend sentence guidelines and policy statements. United States Sentence Commission shall ensure applicable guidelines range for the defendant convicted of the crime against intellectual property, including offenses set forth Scene 506A, the Title 17 United States Code, and Section 2319, 2319A, and 2320. The Title of 18 United States Code is sufficient, stringent to determine the crime to be adequate, reflect additional considerations set forth in paragraph 2 of this subsection. In implementing, number 2, implementing. This is implementing a paragraph anything in an implemented paragraph or subdue. This sentence commission shall ensure guidelines provide for consideration to reveal value of quality of items respecting which crimes against intellectual property was committed. Wireless Telephone Protection Act, Wireless Telephone Cloning, 105-178. Number E, Amendment of Federal Sentence Guidelines for Wireless Telephone Cloning and General Pursuit under 994 and 29 Codes. Nice Commission shall review federal guidelines of the Policy Statements Commission and appropriate provide penalty offense involving cloning of wireless telephones, involving offense attempt to conspiracy to clone wireless telephones. Now, Telemarketing Fraud Protection Act 1998, published L 105-180, Telemarketing Fraud, Section 2326 offenses, published 105-184, June 23, 1998, 112 Stat 520, Amendment of Federal Sentence Guidelines, definition telemarketing, this section term telemarketing, and meaning given that the term is Section 2326, Title 18 of the United States Code. Directive to Sentence Commission pursuit of authority in Section 994, Title 20 of the United States, accordance in Section United States shall promulgate federal sentence guidelines, amend existing sentence guidelines, policy statements, and appropriate provide significantly increased penalties for persons convicted of state's code. Amendment of Act conducting the telemarketing. Submit to Congress explains such as action under a paragraph. Additional policy recommends combating offenses described as in this paragraph. Requirements carry out of this section. Commission shall, number 1, ensure the guidelines policy statements provide amend pursuant to subsection B1. Recommend substitute therefore reflect serious nature offenses. Number 2, provide additional appropriate sentence and act offense involving suspected means including that limits suspected, concealment efforts, and perjury, or pertaining the offenses for outside the United States of America. Perjury. Anything is perjury. Provide additional appropriate sentence and enactment in case which are larger number of. Vulnerable victims, including to be limited to victims described in Section 2326-2, the Title 18 states the code are affected the fraudulent shams and shims. Number 4, ensure the guidelines and policy statements promulgated and amend pursuit of subsection B1, reasonable consents, which the relevant to statutory directives, commissions, and other guidelines. Number 5, the count of a graded or mitigating circumstance be justified upward, downward departures. Ensure the guideline adequate to meet purpose sentence and set forth Section 3553A2, Title 18, United States Code. Take other actions, consideration, carry out the section. Emergency authority. The Commission shall promulgate guidelines and amends provided under subsections such as practicable and event later than 120 days after the event of enactment telemarketing fraud finish. And this Telemarketing Fraud Prevention Act of 1998, in accordance with process and procedures set forth Section 21A, Sentence Reform Act 1987, as through the authority under authority inexpired, except the Commission shall submit Congress and emergency guidelines and action prelude under the section shall be effective date for the guidelines enactment no earlier than 30 days after submission to Congress. Now, Protection of Children from Sexual Predators Act 1998. Sexual offense against children and repeat sexual offenders, published 105-34, Title V, October 30th, 1998. 1112 Stat 2980 provided. Anything after October 21st, 22, 24, 5, 6, 7, 3, 8, 9, 30, that's Libra. Libra, your scale, basic scale. That's what you have at the graduations on your training your master in doctrines. There's a gigantic scale and a sphere, a globe, and your American history, U.S. history, and also your math classes, your trig, algebra, analyticals, geographic, figures, geographic. Figures, conics, hyperbola, parabola, and anything distribution logarithms, anything in position as in secant line, cosine line, and also what have you, cosine, secant line. Locating derivatives, what a derivative is, and basically pictures and drawings, anything you draw a description, picture of, whatever you're capable of reading and writing comprehension. Your negative, your positive, your multiplication was is, division is as of or under, or your anything as subscription as plus means positive, add. Anything in negative means a negative, a minus. Any of those trick questions on the reading or writing comprehension, of course, those are English, major English. That means you're born in the United States and you're a U.S. citizen. You have electricians, engineers, steel workers, mechanics, diesel mechanics, unleaded mechanics, people that works on diesels and trains, railroad cars, anything in labor, anything in measuring, or anything in roofing, or anything in tie downs, as anything on OSHA or OPEC regulations. They have a backfall, fall net, a tie down, and they have the suspense, discretionary backup for the policies they insure. So it's a Libra. So it's where is it? So October 30th somewhere. October 30th, 1998. 1112 Stat 2980. Title: Increases penalties for offenses against children and for repeat offenders. See Section 501, Death of Life in Prison for certain offenses whose victims are children. Ages 1 to 18 years old. Victims. See Sentencing Enactment, Chapter 117, Offenses. The General Pursuit Authority, Section 994P, the Title 28 United States Code. United States Sentencing Commission shall review and arm and federal sentence guidelines to provide sentence enhancement offenses. Chapter 117, 18 U.S.C.A. 2421, Title 18 United States Code. Instruction of Commission. In carrying out subsection, United States Commission shall ensure the sentence guidelines and policy statement of offenders convicted of offenses described subsection A, and appropriately serve and reasonable, consistent, and other relevant directives, and these other federal sentence guidelines. Section 503, increase penalties for the use of computer and sexual abuse of exploitation of a child. Pursuit of the authority under Section 994P, the Title 28 United States Code, United States Sentence Commission shall, number one, review the federal sentence guidelines for A, aggravated sexual abuse under Section 2241, Title 18 United States Code. Anybody with a weapon, anybody with a knife, gun, loaded gun, banishing a gun, and carrying pursuit as in kidnapping or threatening, or in pursuit as of cutting your limbs, your neck, your arms, your fingers, and then having you in harboring fugitive enactments, or processing carrying your hand or holding your hand as you as a bond or as a couple, but it is a walk along with a weapon or knife to your abdominal or to your body cavity or into your genitals. This is called aggravated sexual abuse under Section 2241, Title 18 United States Code. Sexual abuse under Section 2242 of Title 18 United States Code. Sexual abuse of a minor or ward under Section 2243 of Title 18 United States Code, and that's anybody that's shooting you up with a syringe with methamphetamine. You're doing lines with amphetamine, you're doing drugs from your nose cavity or doing through intravenous into your bloodline or your blood into your vein, and they're subduing you with methamphetamine or heroin or any anti-abutes, which would be opiates or any these are basically drug enhancements. So these are calculations of point systems that they will calculate. Then you telling willfully unknowing that they shot you up or they slipped you something in your drink or slipped something into you, shot you with a syringe, turned you on to some kind of methamphetamine or heroin and so forth. And you had no other choice but to be under that same household with this individual for the duration, because you could not stand being into another area with other women that wish they would be in your position because of your beauty, yourself is as your body as being a model or processor, and moving on to the next generation, to the next model, or use you as a tool, as a process. And this falls into the sexual abuse under Section 2242 of Title 18 United States Code. Sexual abuse of minors, a word under Section 2243 Title 18 United States Code, also falls under number C. Also falls under number D. Court enactment of a minor under Section 2422B, the Title 18 United States Code, contacting a minor Section 2422C, Title 18 United States Code, transportation of minors and travel in Section 2423, Title 18 United States Code. Number 2, upon completion review under paragraph amendments, federal sentence guidelines provide an appropriate action of a defendant use a computer with intent, pursued, induce, entice, or felicitate the transport of a child of an age specified in applicable provision, a lawful referred in paragraph number 1, engage in prohibited sexual activity. Increase penalties knowing misrepresentation, sexual abuse, and exploitation of a child. Pursuit of authority under Section 994P of Title 28 United States Code under States Commission shall review the federal guidelines of aggravated sexual abuse under Section 2241 Title 18 United States Code, sexual abuse under Section 2242 Title 18 United States Code, sexual abuse of a minor ward under Section 2243 Title 18 United States Code, correction of enactment of minor under Section 2422B of Title 18 United States Code, enactment minor under Section 2422C of Title 18 United States Code, transportation of minors, travel under 2423 Title 18 United States. Upon completion of review under paragraph 1, preliminary amendments of federal sentence guidelines, and to provide appropriate enactments for defendant only must represent an actual intent to defendant with intent to pursue, induce, entice, coerce, felicitate, or transport child of an age specified in the applicable provision, law refer paragraph number 1, engage in prohibited sexual activity. Increased penalties for pattern of activity in sexual exploitation of children, pursuit and authority under Section 994P of Title 28 United States Code, United States Sentence Commission shall review federal sentence guidelines on aggravated sexual assault under Section 224, just like I said, which will fall in between Section 503, increased penalties of use of computer sexual abuse, exploitation of a child. And these sexual abuse of a minor ward under Section 2243 and sexual abuse Section 2242 of Title of aggravated assault abuse under Section 2241 Title 18 United States Code. Now, the United States Code Sexual Abuse of Minor Award, Section 223, Title 18, United States Correction Entice of Minor under Section 2422B, Title 18, United States Code Contacting Minor under Section 2422C of Title 18 under Code Transportation of Minor Travel under Section 2423 and Title 18. Upon completion of review on paragraph, amendments of federal sentence guidelines, penalties, applicable offenses, refer paragraph of any in the case defendant engaged in pattern of activity involving sexual abuse, exploitation of a minor. Now, this is clarification of the definition and distribution of pornography. Pornography, pursuant authority under Section 994P of Title 28, United States Code, United States Commission shall review federal sentence guide related to distribution of pornography covered under Chapter 110, Title 18, United States Code 18 U.S.C.A. 2225, related to sexual exploitation of abuse of children, and upon completion review under paragraph permitting amendments to the federal sentence guidelines necessary to clarify term distributed pornography applies distribution for monetary remuneration of non-penalty interest. Directive of these United States Commissions carry out the title United States Commission shall respect an action related to the federal state guidelines to the title to ensure reasonable consistency with other guidelines and federal sentence guidelines. Number 2, respect offenses subject to federal state guidelines and deliberate submission punishment under the federal sentence guidelines under substantially same offenses. Identity Theft Assumptions Deterrent Act in 1998, published 10538. Identity Theft of Documentation Fraud, Section 1028 offenses, published 105318, October 30th, 1998. 112 Stat provided 3009 provided. Section Amendment Federal Sentence Guidelines offenses under Section 1028. Pursuit of authority under Section 994P, Title 28, United States Code, the United States Sentence Commission review aim the federal sentence guidelines, policy statements commission are appropriate to provide an appropriate penalty for each offense under section. Section 1028, Title 18, United States amended by this act. Factors carry out the subsection United States Commission consider respect to each offense described subsection. Number 1, the extent to which number of victims, as defined Section 3663A, the Title 18 United States Code, involved in the offense including harm to repetition, inconvenience, other difficulties resulting from offense, adequate measure, established penalties, and federal sentence guidelines. Number 2, the number of means of identification documents, false identification documents, and those terms, offense Section 1028 and Title 18 United States Code amend the Act involving an offense, adequate measure, established penalties, federal sentence guidelines. Number 3, the extent of value of loss of any individual caused by the offense of adequate measure, established penalties under federal sentence guidelines. The range of conduct covered by the offense. Number 4. Number 5, the extent to which sentence enactments with the federal guidelines and court authority sentence guidelines range adequate, ensure punishment to the near maximum penalty for the most outrageous conduct covered by the offense. The extent to which federal sentence guidelines sentence of offense have been constrained by statutory maximum penalties. The extent of federal sentence guidelines offense adequate achieve the purposes of sentence forth Section 3553A2, the Title 18 United States Code. Number 8, any other factor United States Sentence Commission considers inappropriate. Digital Theft Deterrent and Copyright Damage Improvement Act of 1999, published L106-160. Intellectual Property Offenses, published L106-160, December 9th, 1999, 113 Stat 1774 provided. Sentence Commission Guidelines. Within 120 days after the date enactment, the Act of December 9th of 1999, within 120 days after the first date of which were a sufficient number of voting members in Sentence Commission constitute a quorum, which is and later a commission shall promulgate emergency guidelines amendments to implement Section 2G Electronic Theft Net Act, set forth Section 21A Sentencing Act of 1987, 28 U.S.C. 94 note, as through authority that act has not been expired. Children Health Act 2000, Ecstasy Anti-Profilification Act of 2000, published L 106-310. Amphetamine offenses, published 106-310. DIV B Title 361, October 17, 2000, 114 Stat 1228 provided. Enactment punishment amphetamine laboratory operators. Amend the federal sentencing guidelines pursued under the Section 994P of Title 28, United States Code. United States Commission shall amend the federal sentencing guidelines in accordance with section respect to the offense-related manufacturing, importation, exportation, trafficking, and methamphetamine, including attempt or conspiracy to any of their foregoing violation of Controlled Substances Act 21 U.S.C. 801, Controlled Substance Import-Export Act 21 U.S.C. 951, or Maritime Drug Law Enforcement Act 46 U.S.C. Act 1901. General requirement carry out this subsection. United States Commission shall respect to the offenses described subsection A related to amphetamines. Review the amended guidelines provide that increased penalties are capable and comparable to base offense level to methamphetamine. Number 2, take the other act commission consider necessary to carry out the subsection. To carry out this subsection, this commission shall ensure sentence guideline offenders convicted of offenses described subsection reflect the nature of such offenses, need aggressive law enforcement action to fight such offensive extreme dangers associated with unlawful activity involving methamphetamine, rapid growth in diamphetamine abuse, threats public safety such as abuse poses as enforcement or enforcement and safety procedures, high risk amphetamine addiction, increased risk of violence associated with amphetamine trafficking and abuse, recent increase of illegal importation and methamphetamine processor chemicals, basically methamphetamine anhydrous. This would be in trailer courts, this would be in storage units, this would be in probably populations that provide and services that they need to conduct their services and make profit on both sides of the administration office and inside behind the walls of the processing and enactments of prosecuting and also deliberations, sentence guidelines, juries, and also omnibus, pretrial, trial, and so forth. United States Sentencing Commission shall approve amendments, pursuits, and soon in accordance procedures set forth Section 21A Sentence Act of 1980, Public Law 100 and 182 through authority under the act that's not expired. Manufactured methamphetamine 106-310, DIVB Title 3612. Enactment of methamphetamine laboratory operators federal sentencing guidelines and general pursuit under the Section 994P Title 20 United States Code. The United States Sentencing Commission shall amend federal sentence guidelines in accordance with paragraph 2 the respective offenses relating to manufacturing, intent to manufacture, conspiracy manufacturing methamphetamine and methamphetamine violation of Controlled Substance Act 21 U.S.C. 801, Controlled Substance Import and Export Act 21 U.S.C. 951, Maritime Drug Law Enforcement Act 46 U.S.A.P. in 1901. Requirements in carrying out paragraphs United States Commission. If the offense creates subsequent risk of harm of human life other than life described in subparagraph B, environmental increase and base offenses level, as you see. The ages 1 through 18 victims and co-victims and anything that falls into that slop of criminal activity, as I would say, slipping you some drugs, slipping you some Quaaludes, slipping you some Vicodins, and then slightly giving you some alcohol, and then giving you some kind of syringe, and then sticking you with the syringe methamphetamine or heroin, and then also making you a heroin addict, and when you weren't even a heroin addict or methamphetamine addict, and now you're doing lines with people, now you're doing lines with people, and you're doing drugs with people, and now you're turned on and doing methamphetamine and injecting this. It says by number I and number A, the offense and substantial risk of harm of a human life, other than life described in subparagraph, an environment increase in base level of offense. Number I, 1I, by not less than 3 offenses levels above the applicable level effective date of enactment act. 2I's, this is number 2I's. If the resulting base offense level after increase under the clause, number I, would be less than level 27, but not less than level 27, or number B, if the offenses created substantial risk of harm of a life of a minor or incompetent increase of base offense levels of offense. That means taking advantage of somebody's already taken advantage of, and somebody's already being taken advantage as any discrepancies as a LNI claim, or somebody got, you're working and you got pushed off a cherry tree, or and you broke your kneecap, and then now you're displaced and you're in the community as a disabled worker, and you're literally disabled, and you have a broken knee and you cannot walk until it's healed. You are considered falling on this category, resulting to a base level after increase under clause I, or less than level 27, level 27. Number B, the offense created by substantial risk of a harm of a life of a minor, inadequate, incompetent, or increase a base offense level of the offenses. By not, number I, by not less than 6 offenses levels above applicable level affects the date of enactment of the act. Number II, 2I's, resulting base offense level after increase under clause would be less than level 30, not less than level 30. Emergency 30 Sentence Guideline Commission. United States Commission preliminary amendments pursuant to subsection practically the date of enactment accordance to the procedure for Section 21A, Sentence Act 87, 1987, Public Law 100 and 182, through the authorities under the Act not expire. Effective date amendments made pursuant in section shall respect by the offense occurring after the date of 60 days after the date of enactment. Trafficking to list chemicals, enactment punishment trafficking list chemicals amendment federal sentence guidelines, pursuit of authority under section 994P. United States Code, Title 28, United States Commission shall amend federal guidelines, respect to violation paragraph 1 and 2, subsection, section 401D, Uncontrolled Substance Act 21 U.S.C. 84-1D, involving list 1 chemical by violation paragraph 1 or 3, subsection 1010D, Uncontrolled Substance Import-Export Act 21 U.S.C. 96D, involving a list chemicals. This would be Epredin, Parlanlin, and Cycloprodin. These carried sections the United States Commission shall respectively describe section A involving EPHEDR, Epredin, Fulfordamine, FPHEN, YLPROPANOLAMine, or Frapsidin, PSEUDOEPHEDRN, including their salt optical osmers and salt optical osmers review and amended guidelines provide increasing penalties such as those penalties correspond to the penalties in controlled substance would responsible manufacturing using quantity of enduring polymer and software possessed and distributing. Conversations ratios for the purpose of the amendments made in subsection quantity of controlled substance could reasonably have been manufactured determined using a table of manufactured conversion ratios, apparent, polymer, and which would be the table established sentence commission based on scientific law enforcement other data sentence commission considered appropriate. Other lists of chemicals carrying these sections United States Commission shall with respect such as described as subsection involving a chemical then apparent review and the MEN guidelines provide increased penalties. Offenses needed aggressive law enforcement actions such as offense extreme danger associated with unlawful activity, methamphetamine and methamphetamine, including rapid growth in dosed, controlled substance manufacturing, extreme danger, inherent manufacturing control, the threat of public safety imposed in manufactured controlled substances. These are recent increased important possessions and possession distributed in a list of chemicals for the purposes of manufactured controlled substances. Emergency Authority Sentence Commission, United States, shall program amendments pursued soon as practice. Date of enactment of the accordance of pursuit of Section 21A Sentence Act 1980 Public Law 100-180 through the authority under Act had not expired. Ecstasy offenses. These are federal offenses and so forth. Methylmethamphetamine, methyl-L-methamphetamine, pearl methamphetamine, PMA, and other controlled substances determined commission consider Attorney General. Ecstasy has either a chemical structure substituting similar to 3 to 4th methamphetamine or affects central nervous system substantials similar greater than 3 or 4. Methamphetamine include attempt to conspiracy to commit offenses described in paragraph 1. Violation controlled substances. Act 21 U.S.C. 801. It's pretty self-explanatory, huh? That'd be a lot of data and inquiry on with the federal guidelines, Washington State court system here in the United States, America. It is true, the man can walk. It is true, Mr. Donald jumped in Molina and a Vok. He can walk around. He's touching down at Spokane. He's touching down here in International Moses Lake, Washington. The murder attempts and also several inquiry manifest records and abstract of Mr. Vasquez, Department of Motor Vehicles. Mr. Vasquez, Mrs. Vasquez at courtrooms here in Alfredo, Washington. That's Dano and Garth. Jennifer and Garth. Here administration office here in Alfredo, Washington on C Street. Security guards with threats, idolized threats and threats. Don't scare me one bit. That's Andy Miller online. Andy.Miller.co, Benton, Washington, 509-73535, 736-306 fax. That's straight from Jennifer and Gainer Goff. Straight to Andy Miller. That's his first name, his last name, and his signature. Mr. Falkes and his also disbarment is very a sad thing, and also the prosecutor Moses Lake is a sad thing. Denver Hotel and Marriott identifying the prosecutor and also the staff member that's having sexual intimacy sexual contact with him, escalated to being prosecuted here in Washington State, was disbarred a lot administration staff members, and when he is a prosecutor himself being prosecuted. Mr. Sean Saint, the prosecutor of Pasco, Washington, and Honorable Carrie L. Rung, prosecutor of Kennewick, Washington, prosecutor's office 71122 West Okanagan Place, Building A, Kennewick, Washington 99336. And that's Honorable Carrie L. Rung now, Pasco, Washington. And that's all it's called. Eugene F. Platt and Sadie Strawn and Dick Cheney in the administration office, and Mrs. Sadie Strawn with farm insurance now. She's working as a business owner, still a business owner, and also in corporate office. Now she's running administrations and executive offices, which is a big plus. Coordinating and also processing stipulation orders, that would be Andy Miller. And this is Benton County because they do practice appeals here. So regardless of what the advocacy panel thinks, or the Washington Bar Association and disbarment, and also the medical disbarment, which would be medical malpractice and insurance fraud, on top of all the administration office that they consider capability and credibility and integrity and honesty and also nothing but the truth. And this is in open public and also administrations and also in private chambers and advocacy panels, protecting all rights and conspiracies of every individual that's processed, and of course not taken advantage of in any way or shape or form from ages 1 to 18. And that's a big move on Mr. Scalia, and I mean, big move Mr. Falquist, and also a big move from, of course, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Othello, and also Mr. and Mrs. Prosecutor's office, administration office, and also the relation with prosecutor's office, where they conduct their services, and have their prosecutor offices have their bar associations and their rewards polished 7 days a week, refurnishing and also remodeling and updating their Microsoft products, and sustainability and carrying the capability in the society and the streets clean, and making sure everything in the apples and oranges are sorted out in any way, shape, or form.